Welcome to Thrive by the Rising Muse. Today we're going to talk about something that's close to many of our hearts, the mental health toll that breast cancer places, not just on the person fighting it, but on the caretakers who walk through that storm right there with them.
That's right. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And while we see the pink ribbons and hear about treatment advances, there's another side that we don't talk about enough. The silent battles in the mind and the heart, anxiety, depression, fear, fatigue, even survivor's guilt.
Whether you face this personally, are you caring for someone you love, or you just want to be more supportive, this is the episode for you. I'm Natty,
I'm Beta,
and
and
we
we
are
are
here
here
to
to
thrive.
thrive.
As we start this episode, let's start with some perspective. In the United States alone, about 1 in 8 women will develop invasive breast cancer in their lifetime.
And this year alone, 2025, looking at more than 310,000 new cases of invasive breast cancer in women, plus around 56,500 cases of DCIS, which is non invasive.
That's that's a huge number.
Yes, it is.
And the sad part is that about 43,000 of those women will not survive. They will lose their life to the breast cancer this year. And let's not forget, breast cancer is not just about women, it's mostly on women, but also men are 2,800 new cases expected of men this year alone.
Yeah. The survival rate has improved, thank God, and thanks to early detection and treatment. But here's the thing, surviving the physical battle is only part of the journey. The mental health impact can linger long after treatment ends. And that's what we're here to unpack today.
Imagine getting that diagnosis. I can't. Whether I haven't gone through that, but I can't. The first part is the shock, the fear, the questions, the why me. And then treatment starts and it's grueling. Chemo brain is real. Fatigue is constant. And your body feeling like it doesn't belong to you anymore. Oh, you can't eat, you're changing, hair falls. It's hard.
Yep, exactly. Studies show up to 50% of breast cancer patients experience significant anxiety or depression during and after treatment, and nearly 80% report chemo break. Fogginess that makes it hard to focus or remember the simplest thing.
And like I was saying, there's the body image. A mastectomy, hair loss, the scars. It's not just physical, it's deeply emotional. Women specifically can feel like their sense of femininity has been taken from them. And it reminded me, we did an episode in December, Savannah, with Savannah's mom. And one of the things that she did to reclaim her femininity was make earrings.
The earrings, yes.
And she would sell some, but then she would give some to other cancer survivors or patients so that they could do the same.
Yeah, she was putting the earrings in their welcome packet
Yes.
and a note to let them know that you're not alone.
Right.
And even after remission, many patients live with the constant fear of reoccurrence. That shadow never really goes away.
I mean, yeah, because when you've had cancer, the you're in remission, but it could always come back.
Yeah.
So what can help? Well, we always talk about journaling, and it might sound, oh, just journal. Well, in every mental health situation, when you're dealing with depression or anxiety, journaling is a great way to get your emotions out of your head and onto paper. You write what you're feeling, unfiltered, with all the colorful words and all your anger or all your anxiety or all your fears. And that alone helps get it out of your system, especially if you don't have, if you feel like the people around you may not understand, they may be trying to help, but you feel like they don't really understand. Now, looking for people who understand support groups. Yes. Support groups, whether in person or online, because sometimes you need somebody who really gets it. Yeah. Somebody who's really there with you going through the same thing. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely third, especially trauma informed counseling, mindfulness, prayer, and gentle activities like walking and stretching if you can. One of the things I remember from my mom when she couldn't move too much, she exercised in the bed. You would see her lifting her legs and using exercise bands. So even if you have mobility issues, you might be able to do some stuff because movement heals in small but powerful ways. That's true. That's true. It's about giving yourself permission to feel, but also tools to move forward. Now let's shift the focus to caregivers. They often get overlooked, but their mental health takes a heavy hit as well. You know, you have been caregivers, and even though our situations when are around cancer, it's not so much different when you're caring for somebody you love that's not being able to care for themselves. And caregivers juggle appointments, make sure medications are given timely, insurance, cooking, cleaning, sometimes working full time, trying to be the emotional support for the patient, taking care of kids at the same time. Remember following a case. I'm not sure if first was breast cancer, but it was a couple and they had a young child. And for the last year, all he tried to do was give her the best last year of her life. And he basically took a year off from work, which that wasn't easy financially. Right. Because even with treatment and all that stuff, but he tried to take her wherever she wanted to go, spend time with family, preparing their child. But emotionally, you're seeing your wife with her, you're still taking care of your baby. You have to be careful with the medication, you have to figure finances, and the fact that you have to figure out that at some point this person's not going to be there. And the hardest thing is watching your loved one day after day deteriorate. Yes, that's the and that is, I don't even know how I could wrap my mind around that. Of course, you in the situation, boots on the ground, you got to do what you got to do. Sometimes you don't even have time to think about You that. Don't? You just have to think
You
about
don't?
the next meal, the next round of medications, the next that,
That's true.
that's so, because I remember my days and I think I reflected a lot after my mom passed. But while I was in the middle of the trenches, I didn't do a lot of reflecting.
Didn't have time.
Right, right. I didn't get much sleep because I had to get up in the middle of the night and do some things. I was seeing that this was not the same person that I used to see, but I didn't have time to even get too emotional about it or nothing because, like I said, the next meal was due, the next medication was due, the bills were due, my job was due. It was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. And being a caregiver, your number one goal is to make sure that the person that you're caring for, they get everything they need. They get the proper dosage, but they also get smiles and laughs. And I remember when I was caregiving for my mother, I made her laugh every day because I told her the only way that we're going to get through this is through love and laughter. And I would even sit there and watch the shows that she liked, even though I didn't necessarily watch them. I got into them so that she and I could talk about.
We did that with my mom.
And see, my mom, when she was doing her Grey's Anatomy, you do not say a word until the commercial came on.
Now, the kicker when you were taking care of my mom is my mom's shows were in Spanish. And you were getting into them.
I was getting into them because they were so predictable. And I'm like, I'm rolling her hair or doing something with her. And I said, Mama, you know the husband gonna walk in, right?
Tell her.
And she just started laughing. And then when he walks in and the girl, wait, Poppy, oh, Poppy, you in the middle of the living room on the sofa with the plastic on it. You really didn't think Poppy was going to walk in. Okay. But these are things. Yes. I made your mom. Oh, yeah. Laugh. Yes, you did. Not even understanding 98.9% of the Spanish, but you could just figure it out. And when I tell her, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, when it does, she would just start cracking up. That laughter. That laughter. It was the best sound all day. Yes. The best sound all day. But being a caregiver, you got to be able to laugh because that's some heavy stuff that's riding on your shoulders, riding on your heart, on your brain, and it's draining.
The other thing, I don't know about when you were taking care of your mom, but me as a caregiver, there's sometimes you have to balance the the whole medical. I don't know what the word will be. How strict you are around the medical instructions versus making this person happy. And obviously, it's different with everybody. My mom was 88 years old when she passed away. She was diabetic. So giving her ice cream was not recommended. Why? At this point in her life, no, I didn't want her to go quicker, but I am not going to deny an 88-year-old woman an ice cream for dinner. If that's what she wants, that ice cream appeared. And in her case, it was not so much ice cream. It was kind of like Puerto Rican food that was fried or something like that. This is what I want. This is what you're having today. Yeah. I mean, was it the healthiest thing? No. Did I care? No, because she was happy. He made her happy. Especially when you have somebody talking about breast cancer where you know it's terminal. Yes. Where why are you gonna be like, no, you're supposed to only eat the macros and the broccoli and no. Give him that pork chop.
With the M&Ms on the side.
Yes. Yes. Something like that. Because yeah. Why you gonna it's raining and they want to get wet. Wheel them out.
My mom had a whole snack corner on my countertop between the refrigerator and the microwave. And that whole countertop was her snack plate. Believe me, we made sure whatever snack we even thought she wanted, we made sure that it was there. All right, you can't eat everything at once. Okay?
Right.
We're going to spread this out. Okay? But anything that I thought that she would like, we made sure that we had it there because in the generation she grew up, they had dessert after dinner. Okay, whether it was fruit with whipped cream on it or, a slice of cake or a scoop or two of ice cream.
Hey, that was my mom too. She had to have something sweet after
So
dinner.
she had, every time mom ate, she needed something sweet after she ate. So we made sure that Veronica had what Veronica wanted.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Now look, research is showing that nearly 40 to 50% of caregivers experience depression.
I can't see why.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there, especially caring for my mom, caring for my brother, caring for my husband.
Think about this. Again, you're in a position with the person you love has something that it may be fatal. Sometimes they come on the other side, but you never know. So you are in the process of trying to get them together, do all those things, but then you're starting to kind of grieve the person too, thinking about how much time I have with them. What can I do to maximize that time? And that thought is not a pleasant.
No, it's not.
It's terrible.
It's not. It's not pleasant at all. And even around 30% of the caregivers living with anxiety.
I think that number's way.
I think it's much higher than
Yes.
that. And here's the kicker. They often don't talk about it because they feel guilty. Caregivers are not supposed to complain. Right. You're not supposed to get tired. You're supposed to stay on 10 until whoever you're caring for closes their eyes at night, and that's when you pass out, you know? But
That's not reality.
and the guilt is I'm not the one with cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So why should I feel
Any type of
tired
mm-hmm.
or need to rest or whatever? But you can only take care of a person from the quality of rest,
Yes,
and that's determined.
yes.
If you don't get quality rest and
You're
downtime, that is total, total, total burnout.
it is. And burnout is real because when you constantly put yourself last, you end up running on empty. I know I've told you the story. When I was taking care of my mom, it was in the middle of COVID. Well, no, COVID came at the end. But I was for the first year. I mean, I've taken care of my mom forever. Those last 2 years before she passed, a year, 2 years before that particular year, I did not leave my house, and it was not a COVID situation. My mom could not be left alone. So unless I had somebody to come stay with her, I couldn't leave the house. When you would take care of her, I was here in the house because I used to work from home. So it was not like I was going out to an office and talk to people. I remember that I used to my Friday night go to Red Lobster. They are not patronizing this episode. And sit at the bar, not because I was gonna drink, but because I was gonna talk to the bartender. And she knew me by now because every Friday I would sit in the last corner and order my food and we would talk. And it was somebody outside the house that we would talk. And that was my 1 day a week that I could do something because I most of our groceries were delivered already. Like I said, this is prior to COVID. And all her diapers and all her needs were delivered. But there was a little bit of groceries that I didn't have delivered. It was her snacks and like things like milk, bread, that little things. And I had somebody who came every Friday for 2 hours to be here for me to do that, for me to go have that dinner with the bartender, and for me to go to the supermarket to do that to get out of the house. But that was not enough. No, it wasn't. So when it had been a year, I remember telling my brother, "You need to come stay with her. I'm going on vacation. And unless she's sick. Well, she was, like something severe, or the house is on fire. Don't call me." And I remember, preparing for that. All her medication. I had a spreadsheet with the medication, the dosages, the times, all her doctors, their phone numbers, blah, blah, blah. It took me about a couple of weeks just to prepare to leave. My thing is, we went to an Airbnb by the beach. You would have thought that I was frolicking down the water. The first 2 days, all I did was sleep. All I did was sleep. Um, that's how tired I was. If you are able to, by the way, we didn't qualify for that, but there are certain programs, so if you're dealing with this, that have, I think it's respite care, where they will either at your home or at their facility watch your loved one, I think up to 3 days or sometimes a week, so that the caregivers can have some rest. So that's good to know. That's awesome. Yes, we didn't qualify for it, but I know that exists, and it's okay to say, "I need help." Self care is not selfish because if you get sick, who's gonna take care of you and the other person? So take that walk, read a book if you have a chance, schedule a therapy session because you might need those too. Exactly. There are support systems, and if you were like me that you can't leave the house, some of them are online, peer groups with other people who are going through the same things, faith communities, friends that listen. Like I was talking about respite care, even a short break can make a huge difference. Yeah, so that you can recharge. Yeah. And remember, taking care of yourself makes you a stronger caregiver. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't give if you don't have anything to give. Right.
I remember when I was a caregiver for my brother, and we didn't know if he was going to make it or not. Marvin Sapp has a song. He's a gospel singer, and the song is called Thank You. And I listened to the words of the song. And when I listened to the words of the song, it became even more important to me. And the words say, I thank you for it all, the good, bad, the ugly, great, and small, the times of victory and when I fall. I'm so grateful that I am still standing tall. I thank you for my tears. The pain helped me overcome my fears. You've been good to me down throughout the years. It's a miracle that I'm still standing here. All that I am is because of all that you brought me through. And everything I survived is all because of you. All that I am
Mm-hmm.
is because of all that you brought me through. And everything I survived is all because of you. How can I say thank you for all the ways you made, the doors you've opened, the times you were there, always making a way? My heart cannot express the gratitude that I feel for you right now. So I just have to pause for one more minute and say, I got to say thank you for everything you've done. I got to say thank you for every opportunity. I got to say thank you. I just want to say thank you. Thank you is so powerful. But if you listen to this song, I realized this song said everything that I needed to say. So I allowed it to minister to me, and God brought us through.
You know, one of the talking about songs, there's a song that says, "It's just because of Jesus I'm alive." And I've always said that that is not a metaphor for me. That's literally, it's just because of Jesus that I'm still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, when you go through a lot of things in life, yeah, it tries to take you out one way or another. And it's just because of Jesus Christ that I am alive. I know, especially like I said, when we're talking about caretaking and when we're talking about people who are sick, sometimes we don't understand the whys. And I'm not saying that I don't think God does these things to you. Um, because we're in this world and it's just a sick, perverted, sinful world. But I do believe from my life experience that what the devil meant for evil, God turned it to good. And I can tell you, not in the midst of the mess, but once you go through and you look in the rearview mirror, that you can say, not necessarily, I see why this happened, but you can say, I see what I learned. And even in the worst of circumstances, in the worst of pain, physically, emotional, there is something to learn. You either learn to be more resilient or be more resourceful, or you learn to speak up and you learn to set boundaries, or you learn who your real friends were, and who your real support is. You know, even in the worst of times, there are lessons that if we get focused on our pain, we may miss them. And like I said, don't get me wrong, in the midst of the mess, I saw nothing. Once you get through and you can actually breathe and look back, I see things like, for example, I remember, situation in a relationship where it was bad, but one of the things that I struggle with is issues of control. Well, I was in a situation I couldn't control. So even though I know God didn't put me in that situation, I actually put myself in that situation. But God worked with my control issues through that situation. I also know that um, when my mom passing, it was not to cause me pain. It did cause me pain, but at the same time, um, God knew that there were some things in my life that couldn't come in until I finished that mission. I wouldn't be here talking to all of you if my mom still was here, because I will be taking care of her. So God had other purposes for me, and And like I said, I was happy that she was no longer in pain. She lived to be 88 years old, full life, 3 kids, saw the grandkids, saw the great grandkids. And yeah, would I wish she was on here? Yeah, I was planning a party for her 90th birthday. She didn't make it. Um, but there were things that needed that needed to happen for a reason. There are things in my own family that have changed because not because, oh, she's out of the way. No, because we have been forced to manage ourselves with each other. She was the center of our family. So now we didn't have our own relationships as a family. And now that she's not there, we have been forced to deal with each other, which is not, when I say forced, I don't mean it in a negative way. It has been beautiful, but it's something we wouldn't have done with her here because we will still be focusing on her and not on our own relationships as a family. And like I said, there are things that are happening in my life now that wouldn't have had room to come in if she was here. Yeah. So it's hard, it's hurtful, but after the biggest storms, you see the grass coming back and you see flowers coming back. Know that there is no pain that God doesn't forgive. That's what I'm trying to say.
There's no pain Jesus can't heal.
That's true. That's
There
true.
is no hurt
That's true.
he cannot feel, because we know that all things work according to the Master's holy will. No matter what you're going through, remember God. He's going to use you because the battle is not yours, it's the Lord. And that's Yolanda Adams. The battle is not yours.
You okay? Yeah. I mean, it's we never part from our people. They stay in our hearts. They stay in our lives. I'm going to step on something that maybe I should. But I was telling you this morning, I don't care about music. I don't care about pop artists and stuff like that. Yeah. But right now, there's a reason why I have to watch the Super Bowl this year. And it's not so much the controversy of who's going to sing, is because that was one of my mom's favorites.
He was.
He was. And he so happened that grew up in the same place that I grew up, not just talking about Puerto Rico, but actually the city and place where I grew up. And for that reason, my mom loved them. And I feel like as a tribute to her.
Yeah, because she never watches the Super Bowl.
I don't.
I only watch it for the half.
I don't even do the halftime because that's what YouTube is for. You watch the commercial.
Yeah, but this time
I have to watch
we're
it.
going to watch it in memory of
Mama
Anna
Ortiz,
aka Mama.
So, they're still with us all the time.
Memories.
And we honor their lives. Like we were talking about Savannah. Her mom talks about her on social media all the time. Puts pictures of her, talks about her. I still have a Facebook page with my mom live. Sometimes when I remember things, I put a post this week and I forgot to put the post because I've been too busy. I was putting socks and shoes on Mason and he told me something. He told me he didn't have socks. That's what he was. He told me he didn't have socks. And I said, boy, if there's something I always make sure you have are socks and underwear. And then I said, I've become my mother because my mom always make sure that more than clothes that we had underwear. And my brother's is older than me, and that was our care packages for holidays, for what a birthday, for whatever. It was socks and underwear. And it was I was telling that to the baby, and it was like she's here, you know, not because the person is not physically there. It means that they're not in your life anymore.
Our moms are in that cloud of witnesses. And I know I can feel it that our mothers are very proud of us for what we're doing, what we're committed to. And I know Veronica's proud of me because her baby girl went back to college at 57, and now I'm a college graduate. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. But I did it for the memory of my mom.
Mm.
And you remember my graduation day, we
Mhm.
were in the hotel room getting
Mhm.
ready, and I took a picture with my mom in my cap and gown,
Mhm.
but I had my mom's picture because she was truly my inspiration. She
Mhm.
was an educator for 40 years. And I knew my mom was a teacher, but I didn't know that that gift
Mhm.
was in me. And I'm so thankful what she deposited in me. Now I'm teaching my grandson.
Mhm.
And that's what it is. We pass it on from one generation to the next. Anna Ortiz will not be forgotten because Mason's going to know her when he grows up as my Mimi's mama.
Mhm.
And then he'll be able to tell his children and
Mhm.
his grandchildren, so
Mhm.
on and so forth, to keep these people's memory alive.
Mhm.
They were such strong women.
Mhm.
They went through a lot, but they came out
Mhm.
and they raised their families. And they got to see us grow up
Mhm.
because my mom was a great grandmother when she closed her eyes.
And I want to make sure we understand we're not talking about this story because not every case of breast cancer is going to be, some people healed and there's the fear and the anxiety of a recurrence. Some people are fine and live successful lives after that. Some people don't. And there's hope even for those that don't. That's kind of what we're trying to say. But even for the ones that do, when you're in the middle of it, there's always hope, which is the core of what we're trying to say. Is it hard going through? Absolutely not. But there's hope on both situations. There's hope on when you make it through, and there's hope when you don't. There's hope when you're taking care of somebody that doesn't make it because you're going to be their ambassador. And know that if you are in that situation where you have to face your mortality, you won't be forgotten. You won't be forgotten. The people around you that love you will always remember you. They will carry your legacy, all the love you gave them. And if not, glory to God that you were able to face it through and use that blessing. If you're able to, conquer this, use that blessing to bless others. Sometimes we forget when once we bless that we need to give it forward and
Keep it going.
keep it going. And our legacy is not just in our families, but in the people that we're able to touch. So if you are able to face this monster and get through, and you're one of those blessed ones who are able to continue your life, great, that's wonderful. But don't forget to pay it forward with, being in those support groups, being in those peer groups. You know what your caretakers had to go through. Try to be a support for those people. Be kind to others. Don't forget the blessing that you have to have conquered this monster.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. And we are praying for you.
Absolutely.
Um, and we are here for you.
Hmm.
And we're proud of you. We're proud of you.
And I know we're kind of in the middle of the show, but I don't want to forget if you have a story to share with us, please share in the comments things that the Lord has done for you. If you have been a caretaker or a patient with breast cancer or any kind of illness, please let us know. If you're going through it, please let us know so that we can pray for you.
Yeah.
That's very important for us. Hmm. The one thing I love about faith is that it reminds us that we are not alone.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing this walk alone.
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah 41:10 says, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you."
Mm-hmm. Amen. Faith doesn't erase the pain, but it gives us an anchor. It gives us hope. Sometimes it's the prayers of others that carry you when you can't pray for yourself.
And community matters too. Churches and faith groups can help with meals and childcare and even just the presence. I know we've talked a lot about this, how churches, and sometimes they do, and the ones that don't need to get on board, need to care for their people when they are in situations where they need to either, somebody volunteer to care for their children or take them to doctor's appointments or bring a meal, whatever, those kind of things, need to work.
Yes, definitely. Daily affirmation. They're rooted in scripture.
Yes.
And they're so important to us that we do daily affirmation.
Hmm.
Prayer partners or prayer
Yes.
circle.
Yes.
Very important to know that when you can't even pray for yourself, you know that somebody is praying for you.
For me, our prayer partners is sometimes you're so drained that you don't feel like praying, but the fact that you have accountability, it gets you to either join with that partner to pray or at least that person praying for you and with
Over
you.
you, yeah.
It helps a lot. Like I was saying, gratitude journaling, even writing down the small blessings every day. Your person got, it's getting better, or they were able to eat today, or they were in a good mood and were able to take a shower, or the nausea was less, whatever. Even the little things make a big difference. The other thing is sometimes we think God cannot handle our complaints. We do that.
We do.
And we can allow ourselves to complain because God can handle our tears. He can.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I know you're in control, God. I know you. I trust you. I believe you, but I'm not feeling you right now. I need to feel you holding me.
Yeah.
I need to feel like when a little girl gets up in daddy or granddaddy's lap and she knows that she's safe.
Right.
Okay. She knows that they're not going to let anything hurt. And we need to be able to feel that even though you don't see Jesus with the skin on, through our faith.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
We can feel him. We can feel him being our comforter. We can feel him being our peace. We can feel him being our healer. It may not be in the way or the timing that we want it.
Right.
But we know that he is Jehovah Rapha, the God of healing, and Jehovah Shammah, our peace.
Yes.
So faith is about hope, but it's also about honesty. It's okay to hold on to both grief and gratitude in the same breath.
I believe so.
I believe so too, because when my mom passed, my God, I was grieving. But to know what she went through at the end, I had to be grateful that God received her.
Absolutely. I can.
Okay. I never went and said, God, you took my mom. God did not take my mom.
No.
My mom had some ailments and she found out that they couldn't do anything else for her. And if she had another attack, she may not live through. And that's something she did not share with me and my brother. When that happened, it was total trauma. Like somebody just punched you in the face. But I did learn to grieve and have gratitude.
I understand that. In my mom's last few months, I was grieving the fact. I mean, that was during COVID, and I couldn't be in the same.
We couldn't touch her.
Touch her. We couldn't be in the room. We were doing a lot of FaceTiming and talk about gratitude about smaller things. I remember one of the conversations of FaceTime where they had the phone to her face and she did not. She had her eyes closed. I did all the talking, but at the end of the call, I asked her, Mama, if you are listening to me, throw me a kiss. And she moved her lips. And that was the last time I talked to her. And that little thing meant the world to me. So, you can be grateful even when things look as dire as they can. And me too. I agree with the loss of my mom, but she was not okay. She was in a lot of pain. She was
She couldn't
not,
walk.
she couldn't walk. She could barely eat.
couldn't take care of herself.
Right. And she didn't want to live like that. My mom had a DNR because she didn't want to live like that. So I know that I was grateful that she was free.
Yeah.
I was grateful that she was free.
Yeah.
Not I was not happy that she died.
No.
I was grieving her. I still love my mom. But I was grateful that she was no longer in pain and no longer suffering.
It was that hope of glory that she would not just go in a hole in the ground and that would be it.
Yeah.
But that she would spend eternity
Right.
with Jesus. And one day we will meet again.
Again, absolutely.
Because even though we don't want to talk about it, we all have to go that way. Um, different scenarios, different, but we all have to go that way.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important to have a higher power.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Our higher power is Jesus Christ.
Right.
We don't down people for their belief.
No. Absolutely not.
Okay. Because we respect each person.
Absolutely.
If you want to worship a rock and you commit it,
more power to you.
Whatever you do it to the best of your ability. But we know our higher power. But there are so many different religions that they have different higher powers. Whatever gives you that hope and that makes you feel like, okay, it's bad right now, but I'm not alone.
Right.
I'm going to go through this. And it's not easy. It's not easy at all, but you got to have something to hold on to. We want to make sure that you walk away today with resources that you can use.
Absolutely. The first one we're going to talk about is American Cancer Society. If you're going to look them online, is cancer.org. They have a 24/7 helpline. They provide education and support and all kinds of information.
Susan G. Coleman Foundation. Looking it up online is KOMEN.org. And that's for advocacy, financial help.
There's also Cancer Care, which is cancercare.org, CANCERCARE.org. They offer free counseling and support groups.
And breastcancer.org. This is where they have forums and trusted information to help you on your journey.
Right. The National Cancer Institute, which is cancer.gov. That's the office in charge of doing research and providing a treatment updates.
And most importantly, if you're struggling with depression, anxiety, or thoughts of hopelessness, please reach out to a mental health professional or call 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline here in the United States.
And usually, like we say, and if it's your loved one who is experiencing these things, please call 911 or take them to the nearest emergency room.
Yes.
I'm glad you're patient in listening. We have a lot of information, but remember that you are more than your diagnosis.
Yes.
And you are more than your loved one diagnosed. Your worth, your beauty, your value is not diminished by what you're going through.
Right. And for the caregivers, you are seen. We see you. You are appreciated. We appreciate you. And your health matters just as well. Don't put yourself on the back burner.
You're not alone.
Nope.
Not in this journey. Whew. This is like I said, I think a lot about that episode that we did with Savannah Small.
She was our caregiver. Savannah had just gotten married. Only married about 2 years,
Something like that.
maybe. She got her diagnosis right after she got married. I don't know.
No. I think it was
right before she got married.
right,
And he wanted to marry her anyway.
right. That's how I know it was
Yeah.
before.
And so they were only married, what, two, maybe a little over 2 years before her body succumbed to her battle. And she lost her battle with cancer, but her mother was her caregiver through the whole thing. And her mother vowed to keep her story alive.
And she has.
And the earrings as well.
No, she said that was Savannah's thing, that she was not going to continue doing the earrings. But see her on social media. She keeps posting pictures of her, telling her story. I saw some pictures. I can't remember where I found her wedding pictures. It was so beautiful. I remember her mom telling the story, and that's how I remember that she got the diagnosis before, because some organizations, knowing her story, helped put the wedding together. But she was a fighter.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was a very young woman. She was a fighter. She had a degree. I can't remember in what, but when she finished college, it was such a loss. But we have other people.
I have two relatives.
I was gonna say, yeah.
One had a double mastectomy when she was in her 30s, maybe around 35. And then her sister was just diagnosed last year and had a mastectomy going on a year, I think. And her sister wasn't diagnosed till she was in her 60s. But they found out that they ran through their father's side of the family, who had several sisters, and I think the majority of them unfortunately died from breast cancer or some other form of cancer. So it was in their genetics, you know? And when one had the mastectomy in her 30s, I'm thinking, okay, the other maybe within, but that was like 30 years ago.
Well, and I think it was breast cancer. The leader of our small group, I know she's a cancer survivor.
Yes.
I think it was breast cancer too,
Yes.
and she's doing well.
Yes.
She's doing fantastic. I now have another friend from church that just finished chemo, and I've been following her journey online. Her husband has been posting things, and so it's more prevalent than we think. I will say this for the younger folks. When I got to a certain age, and I know everybody's experience is different, and it was time to do my first mammogram, I ran for a couple of years because I was like, nobody's going to squeeze the girls. It's going to hurt too much. I don't know what your experience is, but my experience has been really good. Like when they tell me I have to do my new mammogram, I go, okay. I don't know if it's a machine where I go. It's not traumatic. It's not those metal plates that our grandmas used to talk about. It's plastic. Yes, I mean, I'm not gonna say I would do one every day, but it's not like the end of the world.
Well, my grandmother didn't have her one and only mammogram till she was 80. She was 80.
Wow.
And she was clear.
Good.
Uh-huh. But
And
I don't look forward to it
That's what I'm
because it's
saying.
it's like being a model. You're in these uncomfortable positions.
Right.
But while I'm uncomfortable, I'm thinking, I'm making sure that I'm okay. And if I'm not okay,
I will find out pretty soon. And that's kind of where I'm going. I think it's at 40 that you're supposed to start. I can't remember anymore. But after that is every year. Most insurance companies cover it 100%, if not all. I don't know of one that doesn't. If you don't have insurance, there are places where they do them for free. There are events where you can go into the bus and do them for free. Do self examinations in the bathroom, in the bed. You know what your breasts feel like. And if you feel like something doesn't feel right, go get them checked, no matter how old you are.
please.
Because early detection is what's going to give you a better chance at beating this thing.
And fear does not take it away.
Right.
Fear puts off a lot of times too long put off.
Right. Treatment.
And it could have been treated.
Right.
So Love yourself enough.
Yeah.
No matter how hard it is, and I
Mhm.
don't want to hear it, I need to know. You deserve to know what's going on with your body
Right.
so that you can be in the best health that you can be.
And it doesn't take long. Like
No,
it was like 15 minutes
15
or
minutes
something like
tops.
that.
Yeah.
Like I said, mine have not, like I said, it's not a party, but it was, you hear these stories and you get all horrified about it. And when I went, I was like, this is what it was? Not that big of a deal. So, you know, if you have been postponing it, like I did the first few years that I was supposed to, don't, don't. It's not all that. It's really easy. Like I said, it's about 15 minutes. Insurance covers it under preventative care. If you don't have insurance, there's ways to get it done
Yeah.
for free. So make sure you get checked to make sure. And men, we mostly talk about women, but men have breasts, believe it or not. That's why there's nipples in their chest, and those are their breasts and the breast area. If you feel a knot there, go to a doctor. Don't think that because you're a man, you cannot have breast cancer.
Yeah.
I mean, the chances are less because there's less men than women having it. But if you feel anything in your chest, go see a doctor.
Yeah. It shocked me years ago when I found out that Shaft, Richard Roundtree, played Shaft, and he had breast cancer.
I'm
As
finding out right now.
as he got older. Yeah.
Okay.
He was the first man that I'd heard of
Okay.
that had breast cancer.
Okay.
So yeah, men and women, love yourself enough to find out, and then you know what to do next.
Right.
Okay?
Absolutely.
And we love you enough to talk about this. Won't be the last time this month. We'll have something else that we'll be talking about dealing with breast cancer. But today we explored the silent battles, mental health struggles for both patients and caregivers.
We share statistics, some coping tools, some faith anchors, and resources to remind you that healing is not just physical, it's emotional
And spiritual. Yes. Thank you for joining us on Thrive by the Rising Muse.
Be sure to subscribe, share this episode with someone who needs it. Make sure to follow us on social media. We are at The Rising News on all our platforms. Make sure to tell your friends. We are always giving you encouragement and encouraging content. And follow us on YouTube. We're trying to get to 1,000 followers.
We can do it. We're
Yes.
going to do this.
Until next time, don't forget to thrive.
thrive.
Have a blessed day.
Bye bye.